they were the only ones who could and did possess at the dawn of mankind's civilization the astronomical knowledge that required millennia to develop the sophisticated methods and mathematics and concepts for an advanced astronomy, and the need to teach human scribes to copy and record meticulously table upon table of distances in the heavens, order of stars and groups of stars, heliacal risings and settings, a complex sun-moon-earth calendar, and the rest of the remarkable knowledge of both heaven and earth. Against this background, can it still be assumed that the Mesopotamia astronomers, guided by the Nephilim, were not aware of the planets beyond Saturn, that they did not know of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto? Was their knowledge of Earth's own family, the solar system, less complete, and that of distant stars, their order, and their distances? Astronomical information from ancient times contained in hundreds of detailed texts lists celestial bodies, neatly arranged by their celestial order, or by the gods, or the months, or the lands, or the constellations with which they were associated. One such text, analyzed by Ernst F. Widener Handbuch der Babylonischen Astronomie, has come to be called the Great Star List. It listed in 5 columns tens of celestial bodies, as related to one another, to months, countries, and deities. Another text listed correctly the main stars in the zodiacal constellations. A text indexed as being .86378 arranged in its unbroken part 71 celestial bodies by their location in the heavens, and so on, and on, and on. In efforts to make sense of this legion of text, and in particular to identify correctly the planets of our solar system, a succession of scholars came up with confusing results. As we now know, their efforts were doomed to failure, because they incorrectly assumed that the Sumerians and their successors were unaware that the solar system was heliocentric, that Earth was but another planet, and that there were more planets beyond Saturn. Ignoring the possibility that some names in the star lists may have applied to Earth itself, and seeking to apply the great number of other names and epithets only to the 5 planets they believed were known to the Sumerians, scholars reached conflicting conclusions. Some scholars even suggested that the confusion was not theirs, but the Chaldean mix-up, for some unknown reason. They said the Chaldeans had switched around the names of the 5 known planets. The Sumerians referred to all celestial bodies, planets, stars, or constellations as Mul who shine in the heights. The Akkadian term Kat was likewise applied by the Babylonians and Assyrians as a general term for any celestial body. This practice further frustrated the scholars seeking to unravel the ancient astronomical texts. But some moles that were termed Blubad clearly designated planets of our solar system. Knowing that the Greek name for the planets was wanderers, the scholars had read Lubad as wandering sheep, deriving from lubos, which are shepherded, and bad high and afar. But now that we have shown that the Sumerians were fully aware of the true nature of the solar system, the other meanings of the term Bad, the olden, the foundation, the one where death is assumed direct significance, these are appropriate epithets for the sun, and it follows that by Lubad the Sumerians meant not mere wandering sheep but sheep shepherded by the sun. The planets of our Sunday, the location and relation of the Lubad to each other and to the sun were described in many Mesopotamian astronomical texts. There were references to those planets that are above and those that are below, and Kugler correctly guessed that the reference point was Earth itself. But mostly the planets were spoken of in the framework of astronomical texts dealing with Mul, a term that kept the scholars guessing. In the absence of a better solution, most scholars have agreed that the term Mul stood for the Pleiades, a cluster of stars in the zodiacal constellation of Taurus, and the one through which the axis of the spring equinox passed as viewed from Babylon circa 2200 BC. Mesopotamian texts often indicated that the Mul included 7 Lumash, 7 wanderers that are familiar, and the scholars assumed that these were the brightest members of the Pleiades, which can be seen with the naked eye. The fact that, depending on classification, the group has either 6 or 9 such bright stars, and not 7, posed a problem, but it was brushed aside for lack of any better ideas as to the meaning of Mul. Franz Kugler Sternkunde und Sterndienst Babel reluctantly accepted the Pleiades as the solution, but expressed his astonishment when he found it stated unambiguously in Mesopotamian texts that Momel included not only wanderers' planets, but also the sun and the moon, making it impossible to retain the Pleiades idea. He also came upon texts that clearly stated that Momel hour6of12 Momel is a band of 12 of which 10 formed a distinct group. We suggest that the term Momel referred to the solar system, using the repetitive mul to indicate the group as a whole, as the celestial body comprising all celestial bodies. Charles Viroleo astrology Alden, transliterated to Mesopotamian text K.3558 that describes the members of the Momel or Kakkabu/Gakkabu group. The text's last line is explicit Kakkabu/Gakkabu. The number of its celestial bodies is 12. The stations of its celestial bodies 12. The complete months of the moon is 12. The texts leave no doubt the Momel, our solar system, was made up of 12 members. Perhaps this should not come as a surprise for the Greek scholar Diodorus, explaining the three ways of the Chaldeans and the consequent listing of 36 celestial bodies, stated that of those celestial gods, 12 hold chief authority. To each of these the Chaldeans assign a month and the sign of the zodiac. Ernst Widener der Tierkreis und die Dieweg Himmel reported that in addition to the way of Anu and its 12 zodiac constellations, some texts also referred to the way of the sun, which was also made up of 12 celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and 10 others. Line 20 of the so-called PE tablet stated Nafar 12 Shir Meshala Sha Kakablu Sha Sen Yushama Shan Elliptical, which means, all in all, 12 members, where the moon and sun belong, where the planets orbit. We can now grasp the significance of the number 12 in the ancient world. The great circle of Sumerian gods, and of all Olympian gods thereafter, comprised exactly 12. Younger gods could join this circle only if older gods retired. Likewise, the vacancy had to be filled to retain the divine number 12. The prince of the celestial circle, the way of the sun, with its 12 members, set the pattern, according to which each other celestial band was divided into 12 segments, or was allocated 12 prince of the celestial bodies. Accordingly, there were 12 months a year, 12 double hours in a day. Each division of Sumer was assigned 12 celestial bodies, as a measure of good luck. Many studies, such as the one by Langdon Babylonian mythologies and the Semitic calendar, show that the division of the year into 12 months was, from its very beginnings, related to the 12 great gods. Fritz Hameldy Astronomy der Alien Calder and others, after him, have shown that the 12 months were closely connected with the 12 zodiacs, and that both derived from 12 prince of the celestial bodies. Charles F. Jean Lexicology Sumerian reproduced the Sumerian list of 24 celestial bodies that paired 12 zodiacal constellations with 12 members of our solar system. In a long text identified by Ether Odangan to Lezakadians as a temple program for the New Year festival in Babylon, the evidence for the consecration of 12 as the central celestial phenomenon is persuasive. The great temple, the Esayila, had 12 gates. The powers of all the celestial gods were vested in Marduk by reciting 12 times the pronouncement, "My Lord, is he not my Lord?" The mercy of the god was then invoked 12 times, and that of his spouse 12 times. The total of 24 was then matched with the 12 zodiacal constellations and 12 members of the solar system. A boundary stone carved with the symbols of the celestial bodies by a king of Susa depicts those 24 signs, the familiar 12 signs of the zodiac, and symbols that stand for the 12 members of the solar system. These were the 12 astral gods of Mesopotamia, as well as of the Hurrian, Hittite, Greek, and all other ancient pantheons. Although our natural counting base is the number 10, the number 12 permeated all matters celestial and divine long after the Sumerians were gone. There were 12 Greek titans, 12 tribes of Israel, 12 parts to the magical breastplate of the Israelite high priest. The power of the celestial 12 carried over to the 12 apostles of Jesus, and even in our decimal system we count from 1 to 12, and only after 12 do we return to 10, and 3, 13, 10, and 4, and so on. Where did this powerful, decisive number 12 stem from? From the heavens. For the solar system, the Momo, included, in addition to all the planets known to us, also the planet of Anu, the one whose